6 players, 1 final table, and every seat filled by a killer. The prize pool, $5.1 million. The pressure, unreal. Enter Jay Lee. Not a pro, not a favorite, just a quiet guy from Texas until tonight. What follows is a masterclass. Fearless bluffs, savage hero calls, and cold-blooded reads. But how did he crush this table of sharks? Let's find out. He's not the chip leader, not yet, but Jay Lee's playing like he owns the felt. On the bottom, he peels pocket queens, his first monster of the night. Across the table, Eric defends with King 4 suited, not knowing he's about to get diced. The flop comes low and wet. 6 deuce, 4. Eric pairs up and smells a setup. But Jay, he smells blood. 1 bet, then 2. The turn gives Eric a flush draw, but Jay doesn't blink. He fires a second barrel, 480 grand, and dares Eric to chase. River bricks, board pairs, a scary spot for most players, but not for Jay. He leans in with $550,000 more, his third bullet. It's a brutal line, cold, clinical, and Eric, he pays to see the bad news. Jay flips the queens, 3 barrels, full value. No fireworks, no sweat, just textbook punishment.
Can he get it? No, 6 pairs the board again, so 2 pair on the board.
One more check from Eric. And I wonder if that card will get Jay to slow down, or if he'll go for a 3rd street of value here. A lot of players would check back out of concern. Jay going for it, $550,000. So Jay, very confident that his hand is good. And Eric, in a precarious situation here.
Well, Eric's invested pretty deeply so far. He's going to make this call and be disappointed.
He's going to pay off, and Jay makes a great bet on the end and gets maximum value from his queens. They're going crazy.
And just like that, Jay surges to $4.3 million, planting a flag in the center of the table. But before anybody can process Jay's heater, Eric jams. He's down to fumes, just King 6. One last bullet. Josh flicks in 10-3 suited. Paul tags along with Jack 6. 3-way carnage, and Eric's dead center in the middle of all of it. The flop gives nothing, just dust. Then the turn, a 3. Josh grabs a pair. Paul finds a flush draw, and Eric still clinging to king high and blind hope. No lifeline on the river, just a blank 4.
Check a possible side pot. Going to the turn is a 3.
With that 3 on the turn, Mike picks up a flush draw, Josh picks up a pair, and now Eric needs a 6, not of spades, to survive this hand. No, and with that 4 of hearts, we are going to lose Eric Bunch.
King high. I got it.
Played a real tough final table and did great over the last couple of weeks here at Choctaw, but comes up a little short in the main event.
King high is dead, and so is Eric's run. He exits in 6th. No regrets, just bad timing and a brutal seat draw. The table's barely recovered from Eric's bust when Paul opens light from the small blind with King 7. Mike doesn't hesitate, just flats with Jack 6 like he's been waiting to pounce. Then comes the chaos. Mike smashes 2 pair. Paul hits top pair and thinks that he's golden. He leads. Mike shoves. Snap call. It's an ambush in broad daylight. Paul's in a brutal spot praying for a king or 7, but the board blanks. River brings a full house. Mike doesn't just double, he detonates.
Gonna go all in. Quick call by Paul.
And Paul is going to need to improve, otherwise he will be our 5th place finisher.
Hold.
And the turn is a 10 of hearts.
So now a king, a 10, or a 7. Mike knows the outs he needs to dodge. Let's go to the river.
It's a jack.
Let's go, baby.
Mike makes a full house and will eliminate Paul Fisher in 5th place. A big pot for the 20-year-old.
Paul cashes out in 5th. Mike erupts into the top 3 with over $5.2 million and a killer's grin. Fresh off of a big knockout, Mike runs into a wall. Jay rips in with pocket sevens, and Mike snap calls with ace-9
will shove it
suited.
in.
It's a $4.8 million flip. Blank flop, dead turn, safe river. Jay sweats it out and then stands tall.
3 cards are a jack, 6-4. That is pretty safe for Jay. Going to the turn, it's an 8 of spades. Another 8.
The crowd goes wild. And stash.
Jay snatches the pot. Mike gets smacked. Another premium hand, another bad spot for the table. Jeb opens with 6s. Jay wakes up with pocket queens again and bumps it to $875,000. That alone should raise alarms. But Mike, sitting with 2 black 8s and $5 million behind, decides it's time to gamble. He jams. Jeb escapes. Jay snap calls. 3-way tension drops to 2 as the flop comes king, king, jack. Safe. Turns a 10. River bricks.
And his queens hold up. It's a king, king, jack on the flop.
Safe flop for Jay so far.
And the turn card is a 10. Last card coming up. It's a 4.
That's gonna do it.
Well, there you have it. Michael Stashin, the Massapequa Kid.
That's it. Jay crushes another opponent, and the Massapequa Kid gets sent packing. That stack, nearly $10 million, and Jay's just getting started. In this next hand, Jay limps in with king-9 of spades. Josh checks his jack-deuce suited, harmless on paper, until the flop explodes. It drops 8, 5, deuce, all spades. Josh hits bottom pair in a flush draw. Jay floats in with 2 overs and a monster 4 flush of his own. Josh fires a $525,000 bet. Jay raises $1.4 million, all heart. And then it happens. Josh shoves. The table holds its breath. Jay snap calls with king high, chasing glory or disaster. It's guts over guarantees, and Jay bets it all on the river.
It's a spade! He got the spade!
It's a brutal miss for Josh and a $17.2 million pot pushed to Jay, who just dodged disaster and tightened his grip on the table. 3-handed, chips flying, and for once, Jay Lee isn't holding the hammer. He limps in with 7-5 of spades. Josh checks back with 8-5. Harmless hands, until the board explodes. Flop reveals 8-4 deuce. Josh grabs an open-ender. Jay pairs his 5. It's clear that the advantage favors nobody. Jay leads. Josh calls. Just 2 guys feeling each other out. But the turn? Brutal. A 4. Josh hits the nuts. Jay still drawing dead. Jay barrels again. A $625,000 bet into thin air. Josh just flat calls. Lays the trap wide open. And the river? A 9. Flushes now possible. Bluffs more likely. Jay slows down. Josh bombs $1.8 million. The whole table leans in. Is this the moment Jay punts it?
Their entire life.
Meanwhile, this is the greatest day of Josh's life. He's got the nuts and his opponent's leading right into him.
He's gonna be sneaky. Just call it. 9 on the river.
That 9 does create a flush possibility. Now Jay will slow down.
1.8 million.
Josh gonna bet out 1.8 million.
A big bet, trying to make it look like a bluff bet to get the action he wants. Will Jay be too smart and get away, or will he pay him off? Oh, he's gonna lay it down. Nicely done. Jay Lee, not gonna lose too much. Josh take.
But no, he folds and lives to fight another round. One misstep and that pot would have nuked half of his stack. Jay just dodged disaster with a brilliant fold, but he doesn't stay passive for long. Next hand, he opens the button, and Josh picks up ace-king suited. This is the kind of hand you dream about 300. He jams it in. Jay snap calls with ace-queen. Outkicked, outdrawn. It looks like karma's coming knocking. But poker gods don't always play fair. Queen in the window. Jay spikes the lead and never lets it go. The turn blanks. The river bricks. No justice, just carnage. Josh is stunned. His wife watches in silence. He played clean all night, came in as chip leader, but you can't beat fate. And tonight, fate wears Jay's face.
To the turn. No help on the turn, and so a king and only a king will save Josh K. Otherwise, he's our third place finisher.
Josh staying very stoic, hopeful.
Blink me one time. Blink me one time.
Perhaps he could get real lucky with the king, but not to be a jack of spades.
Do it. Josh K came into this final table as the chip leader, played great to the duration, but unfortunately could not win his all-in.
$9.1 million pot. WPI dreams in the balance, and Jay just crushed another soul with a smile. Josh is out, and the table's now one flip away. Jay raises high with 8-7, and Jeff defends with 8-6. Two sweeted stragglers chasing destiny. The board rolls out Jack 8-5. Both connect, but Jay edges ahead with a better kicker. Neither man slows. The next card brings an ace of spades, giving Jeb a flush draw and a glimmer of hope. But Jay stands cool. He checks again, letting Jeb load the gun himself. Then the river drops a 7. Jay quietly makes 2 pair and turns on the pressure. He fires $1.6 million, a bet that screams weakness but hides strength. Jeb snap calls with 3rd pair and walks straight into it.
Card for Jay. You can bet this river confidently now. It's going to be a nice big bet. He bets 1.6 million.
Call.
Jeb just snap calls him. Jeb really should have thought that one through. Pretty tough to be good there.
Well, he went with his guts and it didn't pay off.
Nice, NJ.
Cut up, I'm sure, on the river.
I think we're talking about when Helmut...
Jay shows him the bad news. $5.4 million pot. Jay isn't just running hot, he's reading souls. He's already bleeding chips, but Jeb takes another swing, raising light with a queen deuce of diamonds. Jay defends with a jack 4 suited. It's the last hand of the night. Coctaw gives him a send-off. Jack 4-4. Flops a boat, dead silent. Jeb hits a flush draw and thinks he's ahead. No fast play, no scare, just 2 hands walking into destiny. Jay keeps checking like he's missed completely. The turn changes nothing, but the river? That's the bait. A diamond. Looks like a gift from heaven, and Jeb can't help himself. He fires a $750,000 bet. Jay tanks, then drops the hammer, a cool $2 million. Jeb snap calls and face plants into Jay's monster hand.
Chips at this stage.
Well, Jay is going to bet 750 now. The question is, do you repop it?
Yeah, I think Jeb is going to want to play for more.
2 million.
He wants to play for 2 million.
Greed can kill.
It's close to half his stack.
And that is music to this man's ears. He could taste the title.
On.
Oh, Jeb just looks like he got punched in the gut.
I call.
He calls it. Oh,
boy.
it's over.
Yep. Have to call at that point. He was trapped beautifully, and it's over.
Vince, a lightning fast heads-up match ends with Jay Lee taking it down. For today, the favorites win out. Your underdog and have to come through on another day.
There's a champion here, Chuck.
It's not just a full house, it's a checkmate. $15.2 million pot. The title's his. Jay Lee didn't just run hot, he ran perfect. Jay Lee ends Choctaw with a boat and a bang. Full house, full clinic. Would you slow play there, or would you bomb the turn? Drop your move below. And if you thought this was savage, wait till you see Daniel Negreanu name hands like a mind reader.